Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. I also hope that you had opportunity to enjoy the footage that I got of the storm this morning. It was at 5 a.m. It's now 6:30. Yeah, I haven't had much in the way of sleep, but I didn't get home until, I think it was around 11, something like that. By the time I got to bed and everything, it was just kind of like, yeah. And I really don't know what woke me up because I had the air conditioner going. I have a window unit here, and I had that going. Um, so I really don't. I know what the noise blocker. I really had no idea what woke me up, but all I knew is, oh, excuse me, I really need to go to the bathroom, and then I realized my mouth is really dry. Took my sugar, sure enough, I was higher than a kite. So I'm like, did I accidentally forget to take my insulin even? But no, I did. I checked the trash for the used syringes, and sure enough, I did. So I don't know what happened, but no, well, it's going to be a little bit before my diabetes gets straightened back around after being on my period. So, but yeah, it was like the trash can is kept in the breezeway, and when I went out there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so steamy. I'm like, why is it so steamy out here? Didn't think anything of it. Well, then when I came back upstairs, after taking a little bit of insulin to help bring my sugar down, I noticed that this little one here was looking out the window, and I'm like, what's all those flashes? Hello, wake up. Oh, duh, storm. So, yeah. And at first I was like, oh, I'll just go back to sleep, no big deal. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute. The air that I was feeling was down, when I was downstairs. I'm like, yeah, that feels a little, because it was real still. And I mean real still. And I'm like, this is perfect tornado weather. So I'm like, I better stay awake. So I shut the AC off so I could hear the sirens in case they go off and so forth. And I've been through tornadoes even before I moved here. Of course, excuse me, not really out there. We did have a couple during the 20 years that I lived out there. They weren't in that immediate area, but they were kind of close by. Um, but no, I'm talking about like when I lived in other places. So I'm like, yeah, I think I need to stay awake just in case. And then I was like, you know what? While I'm at it, why don't I go ahead and get some footage of this this weather? Who knows? Maybe we'll have one pop up in the meantime. But no, none that I'm aware of. But in case you're wondering about the light, yeah, with especially with it being summer now, it's there's we do have a night. It's sunset sometime between say 9:45, 10 o'clock, something like that, and it starts rising real early. So not much in the way of night here during the summer months anyway. But yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Mm, but definitely, yeah, short nights, long days, which I don't mind. And of course, yeah, have lots of really great weather here, especially with it did rain after everything was said and done. The rain finally uh, came in. What's that look for? Silly girl. But anyway, but yeah, it was nice. It's really nice. But yeah, it's supposed to be kind of warm this weekend, and with the warmth, it does get a little bit humid. Haven't minded it in the least. Haven't minded it at all. So that's I don't know what she's looking at. Must be a buggy. But yeah, weather has been great. I have loved it. I really have loved it here. It's been really nice. So it's nice being back in the humidity again, and I didn't think I would enjoy it because anytime it would get humid out there, I'd be like, oh, you know. But here, I don't know. I've just been enjoying the weather. I guess because we do get quite a bit of cool days and everything, and that's the thing I've been enjoying the most. Especially with going through perimenopause, it's like, oh man. I'll admit, not this period, but last month's period, or I think it was that, I don't know, I don't remember which one it was, but it was like I was having such terrible hot flashes. I'm like, where's the snowbanks again? Where's all the snow drifts? I'll go out and melt one for you. It's like, we don't have to worry about, it's like after being through 2 false menopauses now, it's like, if you want to, we don't really have to worry about global warming melting the polar ice caps. Just, I mean, if you really want to, just send a bunch of menopausal women up there. We'll be more than happy to melt them for everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be the least bit surprised at that. That's what research would come back at. Oh, sorry, we've made a mistake. It's not the air pollution. It's all these menopausal women who extruding all the excess heat. That's what it is, causing the global warming and melting the polar ice caps. Oh my goodness. I know, I'm a silly girl. But, yeah, went back out to work last night. Had a good night. It was, I only did 11 runs, but the majority of them, I would say probably 90% of them, I think I only did, yeah, whatever that would break out to be. I'd have to say 9 of them were shopping runs. Yeah, shopping requests. I think there was only 2 of them where I actually picked up food at a restaurant and delivered it. So that's all I can think of anyways, is 2 off the top of my head anyway. May have been a third one in there, but yeah, the majority of them were shopping requests. So, and what really held me up though was this one. I mean, it was still, decent, relatively decent pay or whatever, but I could not find things in that store. There was just something with that store that just, at least, I mean, the other one, actually come to think of it, I think, because I think that was my third run. Yeah, it was my third run out of that same store, that same location even. And, I don't know what it was with that order, but it was like I just couldn't find things. And it was like I even was asking the employees, and they were just like, don't ask me. No idea. And it's just weird because it's like, okay, they'll have some things, it'll be same item. Say, for instance, pepperoni, okay? They'll have it some in the pizza kit area. They have some over in the cold section, the refrigerated section, where they sell the refrigerated lunch meats. And they have some over in the deli, and the same damn thing, but different, either different brands or different size packages or what have you. And it's like frustrating, very, very frustrating. Yeah, I did run into that kind of the same issue with the same store, different location though, with something else where it was like I just kept going back to this one section because I knew it had to be there. Couldn't find it, couldn't find it, couldn't find it. I finally asked somebody. She had no idea, and she's looking it up on one of the store phones, and then couldn't find out. Yeah, it's supposed to be in that section. Well, we're both looking again. Finally, she found it. It was like, oh my goodness. She's like, I had no idea where it was at either. Like, yeah. Yeah. But that's okay. The way I look at it, excuse me, gives me a chance to explore a little bit. It was a nice area of town. I was mostly right around in that area most of the night. An area called Fridley, Fridley. It's mostly around that area, especially this one section. I don't remember what it was called. Something to do with a stream. Something Stream Park, Silver Stream Park or something like that. I don't remember. Oh, that was adorable. An adorable little area. It's like, oh, this is really nice. There was a lake with the walking trail around it, and there was actually apartment complexes close by, and it was just and it's walking distance too. And it's like, wow. And the neighborhood was that was right there was really cute, wooded, kind of isolated, real quiet and everything. It's like, okay, so I might check that area out too. I'm not too keen. I really do like this side of town. I live on the north side, and it's really nice. It's quiet. That's the thing that I like about it. It's nice and quiet, and people are real friendly and so forth. I get it, and it's a little bit more my speed. Kind of middle class, and so forth. But yeah, I'm gonna check it out a little bit more up here and everything. The south side, yeah, it's nice and everything, and I wound up down there. Oh, excuse me. I wound up down there again last night. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. I think it's very beautiful and everything, and I don't mind checking it out down there as well. But I'm still a little bit partial to this side. It's a little bit more green, more trees. That's the word I'm trying to think of. There's more trees up on this side, whereas down there it's a little bit more on the plains side. A lot of farmland, of course, and so forth, which is fine. I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind it in the least, especially when you start getting more on the west side. Hi, how you doing? But yeah, it's this little area that I came across, at least with getting myself started and everything. Yeah, and that's what this is all about, exploring. Checking things out, getting myself back on my feet and everything. I mean, let's face it, last couple of years was rough with everything, with my health. But yeah, now that I've been doing all the healing and everything, I don't know I don't know what happened. And I know full well, even though we don't know officially what it was that I had, I know it was COVID. Even when I spoke with the Mayo Clinic initially, they were like, so you suspect that you have been dealing with long COVID. I mean, no doctors out there had even suggested it. They were this, that, and everything else, giving me medications that was not helping. Hi. This is the only one I allowed to walk all over me, by the way. Quite literally. But no, it was like out there, oh, well, you have this or you have that. And it's like, and then they're throwing medications at me that's not helping because that's not what the problem is. They're not treating what the problem is. And, but, with coming out here, though, getting in the better climate, And yeah, we did have to deal with the wildfires from Canada a month ago, but it didn't stick around for very long, you know. It wasn't very long, and we had storms go through and help push everything out. And even then, the smoke, it wasn't as bad as what we were dealing with out there last summer. Out there, oh gosh, I was just dying, literally dying. I was just choking to death all the way down to the cell level. I mean, it was so horrible. And there was that one night, I don't think I can ever forget that night. I went out to work, and I just, even with wearing a mask, I just couldn't breathe. I just couldn't take it anymore. And by rights, I should have gone back to the hospital, and I didn't. I mean, it was like I had the insurance, but I was just so bad off. I just went home to die. I curled up with this one. I figured I'd spend one last time with her, curled all up and everything, and I just laid down to die. I didn't care anymore. And then when I woke up next morning and I was still here, it was like, okay, it's not my time. But I had given up at that point. I was so fed up with it, dealing with it all and everything. I couldn't do it no more. But obviously, there's a reason. And I know the biggest reason is I have not done taking care of this one. Yeah. And here I am. And not to say it was easy. It was tough. But, yeah, it made me even stronger than what I was before. I know. But, and even afterwards, again, seeing yet another doctor and being on those steroids, it was not helping, because that's the problem. They weren't treating the issue. But being here, being in clean air and so forth, it was just weird. Gosh, that whole first week, I just slept. Ate and slept. That's all I did. And breathed in fresh air. And it was cold. A lot of snow. A lot of ice and so forth. I wasn't doing any driving. Yeah, I was working on getting a job and everything. But I wasn't driving myself anywhere. I didn't trust myself. I knew I wasn't in a good position. Even though my friends kept offering me their cars, I was just like, no. And at one point I did drive his truck. We're talking a monster truck. But I wasn't comfortable with it, and I'm like, no. But that's okay. Got through it. Did a lot of healing. And they saw it. They saw how much pain I was in. The difficulties with trying to breathe and everything. But it cleared up. We are all shocked, to be perfectly honest. We were all worried about how the weather was going to affect me and so forth. If anything, it's helped me. Surprisingly, because usually when you have like breathing issues and so forth, you go to the desert to clear up. With me, it wound up being the opposite. I needed the opposite. I needed the clean air. And to tell you the truth, I think the humidity also helped as well. It has helped. Because it was just like, it felt like I was just dry as a bone, and it felt like my airways, I know I've said this before in other videos, it felt like my airways, it felt like somebody had put, like there was glue on the two walls or whatever, and they just kept sticking together every time I would breathe in, how they constrict, it felt like that they kept sticking together. That's what it always felt like, and it was like, you know? And even when I do that, I could feel the strain here in the muscles. All that, all that muscle strain. And gosh, my chest, it hurt all the fucking time. And that's why I came here. Hopefully I could have gotten in some help, from Mayo or what have you. We just needed to get me some on some form of insurance. And I kept holding off going over to get my license switched over and everything. But then when I got the job over there and got on the company insurance, it was like, okay, but by that point, we were talking about 3 weeks in, and I was feeling so much better at that point even. It was like, yeah, okay, let's just play this out. And of course, I had to go through the whole process of getting signed up and getting, the cards, this and that and everything. And I was just getting better and better. Able to go back out, do my walks again, do my yoga again, and so forth. It was just wild. Just getting in better climate. It's like, and it's not because of lack of stress or anything like that. It's none of that. It's the climate. I needed to be in better climate. Cleaner air. Because we do get a lot of storms through here. A lot of storms, as you can see. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, and so forth. But yeah, we've had some tornadoes this year. But, yeah. I have felt so much better. I feel alive again. Between what happened last summer and then the thing that happened with the stress test that I had done a year and a half ago, yeah, I've been given a second chance, and I'm seizing it, and it's been nice. For the most part, I've come across really nice people. It's definitely more laid back here, which is nice. Totally different culture, that's for sure. Totally different. And you've got a lot of your ethnic areas and so forth. Just depends on what you're looking for. So, and there's some things I'm having to get used to, but it's going to be anywhere. So, I did find out that these are that the cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, they are sanctuary cities. So yeah, you do see a lot of immigrants, a lot of refugees, a lot of Somalians, a lot of Muslims, and I'm talking Muslims where the women are, some of them, they'll just have, like the head, I don't know the proper names of any of the different items of clothing, but where they'll be wearing the headdress and the robes. Most of them are plain colors, especially black. Black is very common, but you do see them where they will use like different fabrics. Like this one lady, I was in Target the other day. One of the Targets in the area anyway. I have no idea where I was at or anything. It can be a very confusing area, even though one area it might be called something or whatever. Next thing you know it, you're running into another area. It's not very clearly marked either. So I have no idea where I was at. But she was Muslim, and she was the dress part. That's the only way I could think to describe it. I don't know what it's called, unfortunately. It was this floral pattern, really, really pretty and everything. And her the head scarf. I can't think of what they're called. I feel like I should know, but anyway, it was had I don't want to say like stripes of sequins or whatever, but they were kind of shiny like sequins or what have you. It wasn't sequins though, because it was built into the fabric. But she was just so pretty and everything. That's the thing, with the women. They're just happy, even though they're still in the full regalia or what have you, the full dress. Even the kids, and so forth. They always have a smile. They have a beautiful aura about them, and that's what's awesome. And it's just like, yeah, it's taken a little getting used to with seeing the women, dressed like that. It's because I'm not. All it boils down to is I'm not used to seeing it. You really don't see it out there, and it just kind of catches my eye off or whatever. And I'm not, and I think it's just because I'm not used to seeing it. It's just like what is that? It's kind of like a shadow. Well, I do have astigmatism in my eyes, so a lot of times things will catch the corner of my eye and it'll be like a shadow, and that's what I'm thinking it is a lot of times. So that's why I kind of, and it's like, oh, okay, that's right, never mind. Because it looks like a shadow to me, especially since most of them I see are wearing more darker colored clothing, more traditional or what have you. But anyway, with that lady, I caught myself, and of course I'm wearing a face mask, and I still wear it. I don't want to run that risk. I don't want to run the risk of going through that again. So I definitely make sure I wear a mask, and if anything, I wear the KN95s instead of the cloth ones that I was wearing before that had the filter material inside of them that you swapped out. But anyway, I caught myself staring at her, and she was just like, kind of staring back, and I caught myself because I was also smiling up underneath my mask, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stare. It's just your attire is just so beautiful, so pretty. And she was just like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be staring or anything. It just caught my eye, that it's just so pretty, and she's so pretty too and everything. Clear complexion and beautiful energy, beautiful aura and everything. It was just like, she was just so pretty, and everything. And it's like, wow. But, and the men, especially the Somali men, you'll see them wearing some sort of head attire. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a cap or whatever that wear on top of the head or what have you. And they'll be wearing a robe, some sort of a robe type garment also. So you'll see that quite a lot. There's this one area that I was in, very heavily prominent. That's kind of like a little, I don't want to say it's kind of turned into an ethnic area, basically, to the point where there was even, which I did not expect. I don't know. I always thought that the clothes were made, But I've learned that no, that they actually do. I'm sure that there's some that probably make them, but no, they actually buy them in stores. I was like, oh, I did not know that, because there was a store where in the window they were had mannequins that were wearing, and it was like, oh, I didn't know that. So I got to learn something cultural, and it was just like, okay. I will admit, when with being there's a few of those areas actually around Minneapolis, and with being in those areas, I will admit I feel a little self-conscious, wondering should I be wearing something or what have you, because I don't want to offend anybody, you know. But no, nothing is said or anything. But I will admit I do feel like I'm a little out of place, stranger in strange land, I guess, kind of thing. And I'm just like, okay, should I be? But I do see them not so much away from those areas, but like every once in a while, I also in those areas I see women who full full on, even with the faces being covered. So, and it's not a like a face mask. There's that difference. But yeah, it's it's been a really good cultural experience for me. So yeah, I'm learning a lot, which is really really cool. The majority I'm seeing are Africans from different parts of Africa, mostly Somalia. Um, but do see some Middle Easterners as well mixed in. And I will admit, because I've kind of gotten used to seeing the Africans, and but then when I see a Middle Easterner, well, first what catches my eye is the dress, and then I'll realize that it's a Middle Easterner. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So, but not, of course, not all Africans are, being are Muslims, and or if they are, they're not necessarily dressed in the attire or anything. There was this one couple. They were actually one of my very first customers that I had at the last job, and they were from Africa. I think maybe Cameroon. I don't remember. I don't even know if they even said. I'm just trying to judge based off of their accents with where they may have been from. I'm not too sure, but anyway, um, but they you know just dress like us Americans, or whatever American dress is. Stuff that you would find like at Walmart, Target, or whatever. But nice couple, real nice couple. I think about them every once in a while, and I did get a chance to see them just before I left too. But no, this has been a really, really good experience for me. It's gotten me out of my comfort zone, um, and everything, and I'm learning some new things, which is awesome. I love it, and getting opportunities to check out some other restaurants, especially ethnic restaurants. Getting opportunities to check out some different stores, especially that one store. It's a local, a regional chain called Hy-Vee. It's Hy hyphen VEE, and a lot of ethnic foods in there. They even have an area. I mean, they have a huge deli, huge seafood section, huge bakery area, and it's separate areas where they have like breads and so forth, where you can either buy them out of the case or already packaged. And then they also have area where you could pick out like donuts and so forth. just like you would in a deli, a deli section of like Walmart or something. And then they also have eating areas where you can get like Asian food, like Chinese food, like a small buffet sort of situation, kind of like Panda Express, basically. Okay. And then they also have a section where you can get sushi. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. And also prepare other prepared foods and so forth. A grill. It's really that, and especially that location. It was just like, wow, you know. That one was bigger than the other one that I had been to earlier in the week. That one was really, really big. So yeah, it was like, I'm gonna have to go back over there and check it out. Especially even the grocery areas, it was just so much bigger and so forth. And the ethnic aisle was just like, wow. Oh, and the candy section. Oh, holy cow! I mean, it was like a candy store. It was like walking by a candy store or something. I mean, it was just huge. I'm like, wow. So, yeah, that I got to go back over there. I know exactly where I was at. I got to go back over there and check out that store because it's like do some roaming because it was just like amazingly wow. Pretty big for a grocery store. So, yeah, especially that candy section. I know. Diabetic's worst nightmare. But heck, gotta do it. So, but anyway, yeah, this has been a really good experience. I'm enjoying it so far. Um, and especially this one place I want to check out. I had picked up an order from one of their other locations. I thought maybe it was um, just kind of local to that area, but I found out that there's one there as well. So it's called New York Gyro, and I'd like to check that out. So, but yeah, it's been a really good experience for me so far. So. But you got your other ethnic populations too. You've got, big Mexican population here. Um, um, and of course, oh, I came across a supermercado, not like what out there, but a different name or whatever. Basically, Mexican supermarket. And, I don't even remember where it was at. I think it was the same area that I was in. I don't remember. I'll have to I'll have to see if I can find it again. But yeah, that was really, really cool. Um, and there was a big pet store also out there. I remember seeing that. I mean, it was a big pet store. I think it used to be like a Dollar Tree or something. That's what it looked like anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. I'm kind of liking that area as well. And some of the, especially, oh my gosh, that area that was around that lake that I was talking about. It was like, wow, I would love, that would be really, really cool. So, but apartments, and it was more of the apartment complex than what I was seeing out there. More along those lines, apartment complexes with like walking trails and so forth. So, I don't know. I'll see. Lots of trees, green grass, and so forth. And that's the thing that's blowing my mind too is not a whole lot. Um, uh, no, really not a whole lot of issues with allergies either. I was a little concerned about that with allergy season. Nothing. Just a little bit, like post-nasal drip every once in a while, a little bit of stuffiness every once in a while. That's it. It's been awesome. It's been really awesome. A lot healthier than what I was. So, total 180-degree turnaround. Now I just need to lose all this weight. I know. I keep saying that. I'll get back to it. Let me get through, period and so forth. Pretty much through that, but so, but yeah, this has been a good move. It really has, even though I was kind of thrown out of it, and especially with everything that happened there towards the end. But yeah, it's been a good move. It really has. So, but anyway, I need to get myself moving because we're going to the quilt show and go from there. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you all later. Maybe even from the quilt show. We'll see. Love you guys.